Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. Thank you for joining me once again for today's reading. So, looking at what we have going on, the first card we're going to look at is Nandi. And so, Nandi is the bull that carries Shiva, which is quite a job. So, we see what this symbolizes is the grace of Shiva and Parvati, the ability to carry out one's duty. We talked about that yesterday in the video we did on Krishna, the ability to carry out one's duty. So many of us don't even know what our duty really is. When we talk about duty, you might think all of a sudden, well, obviously, it's my duty to my family, it's my duty to my job, it's my duty to my country, it's my duty to my friends, my neighbors, just whatever that may be in your mind. But we're talking about something a little bit bigger. We're talking about your purpose in this life, because each of us have a unique objective, a unique purpose for each incarnation. And it's not always so obvious as to what that is. And share with you guys, I had no clue for the longest time in my life. When I was a little kid and everybody was being asked, Johnny, what do you want to be? And it's, fireman, policeman, doctor, whatever it is. When they came to me, I would say, I don't know. And it was this way from kindergarten through grade school, all the way to junior high, where it's like, well, we got to get you prepped for high school. What do you think you want to do? I don't know. And even in high school and graduating high school, thinking about the next step, what do you want to do? I never knew. I didn't really even know until I was about 47 years old. And that was when all of a sudden it just all clicked. But looking back, I could see how big events in my life were pointing me in the direction I was supposed to go. I didn't recognize it as they were happening. I had no clue. Like most people, I was just oblivious to everything. I was just simply trying to make a living, feed my family, do what I thought was my duty, my job, and just all those typical things. But there was always this hole inside me. There was something that was missing. And it's one of those things that we try to cover up with so many different things all around. And I've told you guys I've always been a workout fanatic, and for a whole decade, for 10 years, I worked in this job that the minimum was 6 10-hour days, 6 10-hour days, minimum for 10 years. And at the end of the day, and I used to travel about 2 hours a day in my car to and from work. At the end of the day, I'd come home. First thing I would do is put a pot of coffee on, and I would start working out, and I'd work out for 90 minutes, sometimes 2 hours, and then I'd get done and I'd go play basketball with the neighborhood kids, things like that. I was always constantly active, constantly busy, constantly occupying myself at least with healthy things, yet part of it was covering up this hole that was existing because I wasn't doing my duty. I didn't find my purpose in life. And it wasn't until much, much later that I discovered it, quite by accident, when I basically was, with a friend who was having some pain, and I just said, do you mind if I just, hold your hand and your forearm? Because that's where the pain was. It was an old injury. And I just ran energy in, and it went away. And they were like, how did you do that? And I said, well, it's just something I've studied on my own for years. And I healed myself through QiGong, through getting Lyme disease and rupturing 2 discs, squatting over 500 pounds, basically within a year of each other. The energy healed me. And so, I realized I could help others as well. And so, that was what put me kind of on my path. And really that person happened to be a doctor, a naturopathic doctor with a thriving practice. And they said, I want you to come work for me. And I didn't think I could make a living doing it, but shortly thereafter, I was swamped with clients and am very, very busy. I've always listened to spirit, so I actually ended up leaving a thriving practice and following spirit and going out of state, and I have several times since because it's what I know I'm supposed to do, and I just blindly trust. I trust the guidance that comes within. But this is so important, and this is coming up more and more now because it's time for us to do our duty. It's time for us to find what our life's purpose is, because we are in this time of tremendous change right now. And we need what we would call the light workers, the star seeds. You guys got to wake up fully. Those that are not awake. I know you guys watching this video, most of you are fully awake or on the path of awakening. Yet we have to share with others and waken others up in masses, because so many of us came here with a purpose. And for many of us, especially people listening to this, your purpose is to help in this transition from the dark age, the Kali Yuga, into the new golden age, which is coming and is upon us. Truly, the end of the world did not happen on December 21st, 2012, but it was the end of an age. And so we're transitioning now. We're going up into a higher density. We're going into a much higher vibrational frequency. And so we must come online. We must be able to carry out our duty. And as we see here also, the ability for ever increasing service, because what is upon us now is a change of the guard, a change of consciousness, a change of how we view things. And we are going to be more in service to others as we rise up, because in the others we serve ourselves, as we give, as we show compassion, grace, give grace, and share our love with others, and try to lift them up. We are lifting ourselves up in the same process as we do these things. This is part of the new era. And right next to it, we see the way of the divine feminine revealed. We must respect and honor the divine feminine, which has been so trampled in this patriarchal age, in this testosterone-laden age of just aggressiveness and self-centeredness. It's time to honor the mother, and time to get back in balance and back in harmony. Time to show respect for all life again. Time to recognize that we're individual cells in something much larger. And as we do come to that understanding and acknowledge it, and work on helping each other and restoring balance and harmony to this world, I am so, it passes through my mind, it's like restoring balance to the force. We've gotten a vision of reality through the movies and through different venues, as well as books and other venues, but we truly are in a time where balance needs to be restored. This world is so off balance. It's been so out of harmony. As we talk about music and 440 hertz and 432, and we talk about the English language, because it's pretty amazing, when you look at the English language spelling, right? And it's been constructed in such a way that it is kind of a negative language in so many ways. Think about it, the power of words, the power of manifestation. Good morning. When we look at things phonetically, why would you wish somebody a good morning? Sure, good day. It's all the terminology that we have around us, and don't think that it's all done by accident. There's a lot of things that have been constructed in this matrix that we find ourselves in to keep us in a limited frame of mind, to keep us down, and to keep us away from knowing our true power. We should enjoy ourselves. We should enjoy passion and a lust for life while we're here. There's nothing wrong with enjoying ourselves. And we see the sacral chakra, enjoying the physicality. When we look at some of the traditions, like certain schools of Gnosticism and other traditions, like when Buddha met the ascetics that were meditating out in the woods, and for them it was a life of complete asceticism. They basically viewed, and many do, their body as evil, as this whole dimension as evil and fallen, but it doesn't have to be that way. And also, we are moving upwards in vibration. So we see the Six of Keys. There is positive power that is now waxing, and the forces of good and of light are starting to wax as we come online. And see, we're looking at the moon there. We can view things as waxing or waning. We can view things as half full or half empty. It's a choice. Yet, without a doubt, the tide is turning. There is a change going on as people awaken. As we see here with Shamuel, Archangel Shamuel, helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. This is coming up more and more because we're being drawn together into our groups, into our soul families. This is a key time right now. And so we are being pulled together. Yes, it can be very bittersweet because we are saying goodbye to the old, and there's some things that maybe we like about the old that may be viewed in a mixed light, like not necessarily too benevolent, not completely malevolent, but yet we accept it. And it can be bittersweet as we move on, but it's most definitely time to let go of the system. It's time to let go of anything that's holding you back. It's time to let go of jealousy. It's time to let go of insecurities. Time to let go of perhaps the wrong line of work. It's time to let go of perhaps being in the wrong place when you just know you don't belong somewhere. It's time to reclaim our true identity, to get on our true path. And do it in a sense of innocence, being that if we are always being truthful with ourselves and others, it will create this innocence because there's nothing hidden. Be an open book. Be just completely plain for all those to see, just right there. Wear your heart out on your sleeve. Don't hide your emotions. Don't hide yourself. Don't put on a false ego. And so many of us are ruled by the ego and are ruled by our fears when we get down to it. But things are completely changing. And we see here the Six of Earth, gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan or paying off debts. Karmically, our debts are being paid off. As we work to help others, we are burning off our negative karma. And we are lifting ourselves up in the process. We see the 4 and 6 of Wands, and we see basically forces are building, and then they are manifesting as a new reality. The return of the king, the return of the sun, the changing of the guard. As our times change, they are changing rapidly. And as they do, we will come into our own and reclaim our birthright as true stewards of the earth, not ruiners, not looters, not polluters, but stewards of the earth, people that actually take care of the earth and everything on it. And in doing so, then we will be lifted up to an all new level of consciousness as we reclaim our true identities and live a life of peace and compassion. So my friends, as always, like, share, subscribe. I look forward to your comments. Thank you for your support on Ko-Fi and also on Patreon and making the channel possible. God bless and namaste.